Okay, bodybuilding fans, we are less than a week away from the 2023 Arnold Classic. And this is my Arnold Classic predictions video update. So I made a prediction video earlier this year and I was pretty disappointed at the lineup. So I'm so glad that I was able to remake this video with 10 competitors this time and some big names in the lineup. So here are your 10 competitors: William Bonac, Sean Clarita, Samson Dauda, Kamal El-Gardni, Big Ramy, Andrew Jacked, Patrick Moore, Justin Rodriguez, Nick Walker, and Akeem Williams. Let me preface this by saying that although there are only 10 competitors in the lineup, it is pretty difficult to correctly predict where these guys are going to place. Even though I did correctly predict 5 out of the 10 placings at the Olympia last year, and they had like 30 competitors, in this lineup you have some top 6 Olympia competitors, some guys we haven't seen for a while, some 212 guys, so it's going to be very interesting, and here we go. In 10th place, I have Justin Rodriguez. Justin took 15th at last year's Mr. Olympia. He also placed 5th at last year's Arnold Classic, where he looked very good on Friday, but seemed to fade on Saturday at last year's Arnold Classic. He also competed in a bunch of other shows last year. To me, it seems like he does great in the first show of the year, and it seems to fade after that. And I think it's just too close from the Olympia to the Arnold where he can actually make improvements. I'm pretty sure he might be coming in bigger than we've seen him, but it's always a conditioning that's a factor with Justin, and I think he'll be taking 10th place. In 9th place, I have Akeem Williams. Akeem took 16th at last year's Mr. Olympia, which is tied for last. And he competed a bunch last year. From the pictures I've seen online on his Instagram, he looks like he's going to be coming in with pretty decent conditioning. Well, actually, I mean, from the pictures I've seen, it wasn't all the poses, just a few poses. But I'm going to give him some credit and say that he's going to come in decent condition. But against this lineup, decent isn't good enough. So 9th, I think, is going to be his best placing. In 8th place, I have Kamal El-Gardni, a former Olympia 212 champion. He competed in the open class last year twice. He took 2nd in Tampa behind Akeem and 4th in Texas. And he's always known for his great conditioning, which I'm pretty sure he'll have. But without the weight limit, I think he might sacrifice a little bit of the conditioning to put on some size. And I know from some poses he looks great, but some he doesn't look as good, like say his back lat spread. He doesn't have that crazy V taper. And again, against this lineup, I think 8th would be the best he can do. In 7th place, I have Patrick Moore. We haven't seen Patrick since the 2021 Olympia where he took 14th. And we all know that in 2019, he took 9th at Olympia. He had a lot of hype, a lot of momentum, but he seemed to have kind of faded since then. So I'm hoping that the time off has done him some good. I hope he made some improvements. This is just a picture from his Instagram. You know, he has big shoulders, big arms. But for me, I think the knock on him was always his lats. They didn't match up to his arms when he does a front double bicep. And I'm looking forward to what he's going to bring this weekend. In 6th place, I have William Bonac. William is a 2-time Arnold Classic champion. He took 9th at last year's Olympia, which is his lowest placing. And I think he's on a decline. He is getting older. I think his age is catching up with him. And regardless of whether he won the contest, twice in the past, it's all about pretty much your last showing. What did you look like the last time we saw you? And as Ronnie Coleman said, what have you done for me lately? So unfortunately, until he shows me any sign of improvement, I'm going to keep predicting him to place lower than a lot of you might think he should place. In 5th place, I have Big Ramy. Along the same lines with my prediction for William Bonac, I think Ramy is getting older. His physique is on a decline. His arms are smaller. His waist is wider. His quads are kind of funky, and his calves are small. It's not the same Ramy that we remember from, say, 2013 when he won the New York Pro, where he was just phenomenal. And there was a picture that I saw online. You might have seen it where he's doing like a hands on hips, most muscular, which he looked pretty good in that picture. I mean, I don't know when it's from, but I mean, if he come in better than he did at the Olympia, I'll be happy. But I think against these younger guys, I think 50 is his highest placing he's going to get. In fourth place, I have Sean Clarita, two-time defending 212 Olympia champion, and he also won an open show 2 years ago, the Reno Pro Show, where he did beat some pretty big names. But against this lineup, I don't think he's going to win the show. Some of you might think he might win the show, but I'm pretty sure he'll bring in very good conditioning. But just being a smaller guy, I think a bigger guy with good conditioning will always beat a smaller guy with good conditioning. But I think if he takes anywhere in the top 5 or up, that's a great win for him. In third place, I have Andrew Jacked. Andrew is coming off of an 8th place finish at last year's Mr. Olympia. He won a few pro shows last year as well. And I think with him working with Chris Cycle, his conditioning will be better than it was at the Olympia. I'm not sure if it's going to be good enough to win the whole show, but I think it's going to be pretty impressive. And I'm looking forward to an improved package from Andrew Jacked. In second place, I have Samson Dauda. Samson is coming off of a 6th place finish at last year's Olympia, and he also took 4th at last year's Arnold Classic. From what he's shown on his Instagram, he looked like he has put on some size since the Olympia. Hopefully he can come in with better conditioning than he did at the Olympia. I would like to see striations in his lower back and glutes and hams, which I'm not sure if it's possible. But he does have the best combination of size and shape in the lineup, in my opinion. He's tall, he's round, and when he comes out from the back of the stage just walking, he's flaring quads, wide shoulders. He looks very impressive. And I did have him winning the show before they added some more guys in the lineup. And I don't think his conditioning is going to be good enough to beat who I have in first place. Surprise, surprise. In first place, I have Nick the Mutant Walker. Nick is the most logical pick for winning the show because he is the highest ranking Olympia competitor in this lineup, where he took 3rd last year. He doesn't have the prettiest physique, but he does have a lot of mass, and he comes in with probably the best conditioning of the show, other than maybe someone like Kamal or Sean Clarita. But I think his size and conditioning combination is going to be too much for the other competitors. So what do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win? Who is your top 5? Who's your top 10? Do you agree with my predictions? I will be attending the Arnold Classic again this year, so stay tuned to my channel. I will post videos from the meet and greet, from the expo, and from the show, hopefully in a timely manner. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.